Friends, family, fans, apologies for the... Usually I start at 6:02 here in Central Time. Tonight, a little different. Saw the microphone wasn't working. I unplugged that and the camera stops working. Two different things, two different plugs. All good. We back. Twisted tea in hand for the truest of truths this week at the Philadelphia Cricket Club. By the way, if you're looking at the thumbnail, I have no idea who that giant black dude is. His name is Chris Gayle, one of the best cricketers to ever exist. Scored millions of runs in Test match cricket. He owns the record for the most home runs in cricket, sixes ever in T20s. Thousands and thousands of them. So a phenomenal, phenomenal player. I'm assuming old Mike Yule knows exactly who we're talking about. The universe boss. Exactly, people. Anthony, as always, 10 minutes early in the chat. I appreciate you, Anthony. My main man, Kev, bricked up for the truest chat, as you guys should be, because this is the truest. Or should we say, Philly, should I say, yo? We'll, hello, yo, whatever, yo, yo, yo. Mike in the chat, as always, Big Telly, Broken Digit, and undoubtedly Broken Dreams for this week. You know what? Broken Dreams? It's what golf betting's about. It's about conquering the broken dreams. It's about overcoming adversity. It's about just getting it done. Getting it done however you need it to get done. So we are going to have a great time. What's going on, Joanne, with the Philly cheesesteak this week? Yes, we are playing some Philly cheesesteak. Oh, the hoagie Philly cheesesteak. Yes, ma'am. We are rocking and rolling in that department. Welcome back to Back Nine Bets, episode 138. The truest of truths. The truest truths. I totally forgot the name of the episode. It's all good. ProfitX, as always, sponsors this beautiful show. Go check out ProfitX. Use code FGDegenerates to get yourself 1.5% back on your deposit up to $200 over there. We'll be taking a peek. Not necessarily taking a peek, but take a peek at my Model Maniac Patreon, my Model Maniac Twitter account. Apologies. Where I will be popping out Play ProfitX plays for you guys. We knocked Scotty Scheffler out the park on round 2. He cashed his under. Scotty Scheffler in round 3, the overs are always a good play. I do believe so myself, but that he's not playing this week, that's okay. We'll dive into some other things as we go along. As always, we are going to be sharing screens. We're going to be looking at the models. We're going to be looking at the tools that you can find over at the Model Maniac Patreon. Use code TRUIST25 to get yourselves on board over there. Take a peek at the Microsoft Power BI. Yes, Sepp Straka looking for you guys, looking hot and heavy. In 2025, we have got the best bets that you could have made playing in this field so far. A quick little recap of the names. Rory McIlroy has cashed 7 of his 7 top 20 bets this year so far. He's on fuego. We won't be going to him at minus 500, but we've got a Rory McIlroy bet, not to win, but another one to cash in there. Sepp Straka, top 20. Maybe we go to him. Maybe we don't. Might be giving away a couple. Tom Hoagie's over here. He's cashed 4 of his last 4 for top 20s. Rory McIlroy's cashed a couple top 5s. Russell Henley cashed in a couple top 10s as some of the best options you could have found. Funnily enough, in 2025, Jordan freaking Spieth. He's been rocking the top 5s, top 20, sorry. 4 of them in a row now. Looking real good for the Speedster from a safety perspective out of all things. We'd expect him to be doing the volatility stuff that Jordan Spieth always gets up to. But no, this is a new Spieth. It's a dad Spieth. It's a matured Spieth. A Spieth we've never seen before. So we're going to take a look at all of these guys. A couple more names. Keegan Bradley, Shane Lowry, Minwoo Lee, and Colin Morikawa sitting at top 20 there, having cashed 6 of his 7. We'll take a look at some more guys as we're rolling through the show. As always, we're going to be looking at the models. We're going to be looking at how guys have graded out the last couple months, last couple of years. We've got the tools to dive deep into Scotty Schefflers of the worlds, taking a look at all their round-by-round stuff, making sure we are very comfortable betting the dudes that we are betting. So let's get right into it. Really appreciate if you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe. Please go ahead and do that. When you are also listening to this on audio, do me a favor and please give me a rating and review on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates pod feed. If you are listening to this there, we would love to get that podcast kind of ramped up through the roof. We want to be number 1 on the charts. We want to top the charts, people, and we can only do that with your wonderful, beautiful sausage fingers. So please go ahead and take care of that for us. Leave a funny review. Kenny Kim will be reading out some of the best reviews for every 10 reviews that are screenshotted into the Fantasy Golf Degenerates post that's going to be pinned after I get done with the show, I will give away a free month to the Model Maniac Patreon. So we would really appreciate it if you guys did that for us, because we're starting to slip down the boards, and no one likes to see regression more than the guys passing the perps that's regressing. So we need you guys to give us some progression, not regression. Let's get into it. This week for the TRUIST Championship. And I'm just going to bring up a couple things here. Let's find this Model Maniac Patreon. I'm going to pull up the research tab over here. And the number one thing that we're going to be looking at this week, as you can see, we have got all sorts of fun stuff going on. I broke down every single hole using the Google Earth. Google Earth over here, 276 yards to hit it right into the middle here. This is one of the par fives, I believe. If you're mashing driver, it's going to be good. We're liking a lot of driver this week. Ultimately, we are looking at golf course that looks theoretically like this. This is the theoretical breakdown of the proximities that you will be finding going into this week. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 theoretical wedge opportunities at this golf course. I took a look at a couple for guys that are hitting at 300 plus. They're going to have lots of wedges. For guys hitting at less than that, they're going to have a bit more mid irons. And their approach shots are going to come from potentially a bunker, because as you can see, if you can carry a 307, you are flying this bunker. But if you aren't, you are hitting it to an area of the fairway that's got some hazards. So there's a lot to be desired on this golf course. If you're taking a look over here, we've got another 301-yard carry from the very, very back of the tee box. Look how much more narrow this hole is if you're going to try and hit it side of the bunkers and not carry the bunkers. So make sure that your guys that you can be betting on this week have the pop to get over the bunkers, so that you have a little more wider of a fairway to aim at with less issue of the bunkers being in the way. That's the general philosophy this week. So we are basically looking for guys who have got distance and guys who have got good wedge play from 100 to 150. If you can putt well on bent grass and go kind of low, I would imagine scores are going to be quite low this week, given the fact that we're going to have 10 wedge opportunities and 2 more par fives in these guys' hands. The greens are pretty tricky. They're pretty tough to make putts. So you got to knock your wedges close, and we will be diving into all of that as we go through the week's data over here. Enough bullshit. Let's get into it. Let's talk about our first bet, which is going to be a Justin Thomas, 16-1 off the freaking top rope. If we take a look at what JT's upside is, let's actually get this rocking and rolling over here. Justin freaking Thomas, 16-1. Let's get my face visible one more time. Don't want to be hiding behind JT. We want to be riding JT this week. Justin Thomas, upside ranking, 2nd. DK Price, 4th. Projected to be in the 20% ownership range. By the way, Rory McIlroy, very correctly owned. I would imagine he has to be a very, very popular play this week. Also seeing some people jumping in the tool here. So I'm going to make a quick copy for us so we are not messing around with the Model Maniac Patreons. They can get a little testy if I do say so myself. By the way, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I would love that from you guys on the Model Maniac YouTube over here, getting ourselves rocking and rolling. Back to what we were chatting about, Justin Thomas. There are 3 people this week that have top 20 distance and top 20 wedge play from the fairway. Justin Thomas is one of them. We have bet the other 2 as well. That's the basic principle we're going with tonight. That is the basic principle we are going with. If we take a peek at Justin Thomas over here, we're going to take a look at his metrics going to the right-hand side here. He has been sensational inside the top 10. He's basically finished inside the top 10 every time he's finished inside the top 20. So if you're betting Justin Thomas top 20s, you are missing out on some value there. Go to the Justin Thomas top 10s. That is the market you want to look at a lot more than the top 20s, because he's doing it at the same time and you are getting better odds in that market. This is for the last 12, 6, and 4 months that we've been betting on this man. We would have gone to the top 10 market for him too, but we are betting each ways on Justin Thomas as well. So we're going to the top 5 world for him. Potentially might land up betting a top 10 as well. But we are all in on him to win this thing and finish top 5. I understand he just freaking won a tournament. Does he go back to back? I don't necessarily know. But what we have seen is a second at the Valspar, a first at the RBC Heritage. Does that put him into our bad graces, or does it actually help us feel more comfortable about what Justin Thomas can do for us? If we take a look at his better metrics over here, now the putting stuff on the bent grass greens over here, not the greatest. These blue boxes are bent grass green stats and how they compare to the person's baseline. JT, not the greatest at all. But Justin Thomas won the RBC Heritage because of his putter. He's having his career best putting performance this season in 2025. So we are big believers in Justin Thomas getting it done for us. And what we like the most about JT at the Truist is taking a quick peek at his strokes gained from 100 to 150. He's third in proximity from that range. He's sixth in strokes gained from that range. Doesn't necessarily hit the most good shots, but he gains a ton of strokes. He hits it very, very close, more routinely than others. If we're taking a look at his overall proximity numbers, which are the weighted strokes gained metrics, if you take a look at JT, I take off the tee, 48th in the field, not the greatest. He's having one of his worst driving performances actually of his career this year. But around the green and with the putter, he is 15th. If you ever saw Justin Thomas 15th in the field in putting, you'd be thrilled because you know the ball striking's there. It kind of is mainly because of the iron play. And Justin Thomas thrives on easy golf courses. He thrives on hellish golf courses. And easy golf courses are when the scoring average is -1 or better. I'd expect that to be the case this week around a rather susceptible Philadelphia Cricket Club, where you can find tons and tons of golfers hitting bombers over the fairway bunkers, hitting wedges into the greens. When you put a professional golfer on a wedge-intensive golf course, they're going to be making birdies as long as they're in the fairway. So Justin Thomas has got what it takes here off the distance side of things. He's 15th in the field. There are 72 people in the field this week. And then the weighted strokes gained, he's third in the field. He's fantastic across the board, particularly from the wedge proximity ranges, where he's the best of his three buckets here. Very, very solid out of the fairway from 100 to 150. And then if we're taking a look at how he does out of the rough, he's also 11th in the field in strokes gained out the rough. So when he's missing fairways, he's still smashing the strokes gained metrics with the wedges. So we are big believers in JT. Putting well, hitting the ball a million miles, one of the best wedge players in the field. There's not a lot of guys that hit it far and are good wedge players this week. Justin Thomas is one of those people. Time for a twisted tea. If you're allowed to drink responsibly, have a quick sip. If you are not, grab a nice cold water, Powerade, Gatorade, whatever the hell you're in the mood for. Let's have a good Truist Championship. Next week is the PGA Championship. We are looking to have a good goddamn time there. Also, I say the word GD a little too much, so I might have to ease back on that a little bit. Apologies to those of you I am offending. Also, who is offensive is Keegan Bradley in the Northeast. 45-1, missed out on the very good numbers early Monday morning. It's all good. We're still a believer in Keegan Bradley at this price tag. If we pull up Keegan Bradley, you already know we are betting him, so he must have top 20 distance and he must have top 20 wedge play. That's what we told you guys. That's how we're betting these dudes this week. We're also betting him each way, 5 places, 45-1. That's where we're rolling with Keegan Bradley. Safety ranking wise, he's 10th in the field for me, 28th for upside. Hasn't had the best upside lately. Not ideal, but we are in the Northeast here, so you know Keegan Bradley's going to be fired up. He's having the Ryder Cup meeting as the captain, bringing all the big knobs into one single room, all the top 20 guys in the Ryder Cup rankings. He's doing the Lord's work. Take a look at his putting the last little while. He's dead last in the field. Not great, Bob, at all, but we're going to take a quick gander to his bent grass putting. And I'm just going to add bent here because, we want to make sure that you guys are not getting sent by the lack of bent here. We're going to make sure that that's over there for you. And what this number is here, the last 36 rounds on bent grass greens minus his baseline, we are seeing the second biggest improvement in Keegan Bradley's putting for this week on these surfaces. So that's what this column shows us. He's 23rd in strokes gained over the last 36 rounds, and he's 22nd in strokes or made putts from 5 to 15 feet, which I think we'll see a lot of, given the fact that half a stroke gained on approach from a wedge range 100 to 150 is 6.5 feet. So you are right in that 15-foot range when you're looking at wedge-intensive venues. He's pretty solid on bent grass from that range. Great at avoiding bogeys because he's a very good ball striker. Struggles to make the birdie putts because he's a bad putter on most surfaces, not bent grass greens. So we're a believer in Keegan. His best finish in the last little while was a 5th at the API. That's great to see. And if we take a look at his iron play the last little while, take a look at this. He's one of the few guys with total driving prowess. And what I mean by total driving, he's 16th in distance and 12th in accuracy. I'm going to unfilter on Keegan here and actually show you guys how many guys check that box. I think there's only 2 people. And you'll actually be kind of shocked. Screw it. Let's do it. First giveaway. Give me a name in my model for the last 12, 8, 4, and 2 months of strokes gain metrics. Who in this field is top 20 in distance and accuracy? Not named Keegan Bradley. Hit me up in the comments, right in the live chat right now. I need to know. I'll give away a free month to the Model Maniac Patreon. You can find the link in the description below. If you want to just get in and you don't get the answer correct, use code TRUIST25. We're going to rock and roll there. So hit me up. Who has top 20 rankings in the model for distance and accuracy off the tee this week, which I think will be quite important going forward. Mike, you already know Aaron Rye's a giant bitch off the tee. Not him, but he does lead the field in accuracy, by the way. And we will be betting him in some capacity this week. I'm pulling it up right now. I think I know there is only one other name. I might be wrong, but we're going to pull up some accuracy here and take a quick peek. Good. I'm glad you're realizing what you said there was idiotic. How do you ever think Aaron Rye is going to find himself in the top 20 on any field in driving distance? Any field. All right, so I'm looking here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. 3 names. It is not Akshay Bhatia, drop the beats. It is not Akshay Bhatia. It is not Aaron Rye. Although Akshay Bhatia, if I look for his name, he finds himself 27th in driving accuracy and 62nd in distance. Not the longest dude off the tee. I'm going to have to give you guys some pointers here, apparently. One of them is a winner on the tour last year. The other is looking for some sort of historical eclipse, historical overcoming at the PGA Championship from a major perspective. I will just give you guys that as my little trivia. There's 2 names, not named Keegan Bradley, 2 more dudes. One of them was a winner last year. The other looking for some major history this week. Come on, people. Bring the names through for me. Bring the names. Let's go. Let's go. I see you guys watching. Got to get those fingers typing so we can go. Joanne, Mike, there we go. Must have come through pretty much simultaneously in the same situation, Joanne. Trying to be getting to the Patreon Discord forever. Still waiting for you to show up there, girl. We miss you. Mike, also in the Discord. We're not going to kick you out anymore. Congratulations. You guys are doing a great job for us here. Yeah, they are, people. As we're looking at the most accurate golfers in the field, we are looking at, you know what? The 2 of you are in there. We're going abides the Duurt. The Duurt. Is this an are you from South Africa, my friend? Is that an Afrikaans name? Who the heck knows? Anyway, here are the top 20 names for you guys to take a peek at. I'll zoom out a smidgen more here. Get this hidden. There we go. Okay. I'm a little OCD when it comes to showing my screen. So here are the names. Aaron Rye does not check the box. He's 71st, my man. Mike, what was that? Keegan Bradley, 16th in distance, 12th in accuracy. Jordan Spieth, 19th in distance, 16th in accuracy. He's driving the living piss out of the golf ball right now. 4th in the field in strokes gained off the tee. Jordan Spieth, friends. But the short game is ass, 51st. That's like 20th worst in this field, given the fact that there are only 72 people playing. The other name is Davis Thompson, the winner of the John Deere Classic last year in the fall, when we were right at the golf course. I've never seen an outright win live until I saw Davis Thompson dismantle the John Deere Classic. We will be going for the three-peat when we are there this year. snagged Seb Straka the year before, snagged ourselves a casual Davis Thompson the last time he won a golf tournament. So snuck in on the number with a distance and also 19th in accuracy. Drives the ball great on golf courses that are 7,200 yards and beyond. That's from last week where we had shortish golf courses. Now we are looking for a longer golf course. So that makes tons of sense. Obviously, Colin Morikawa finding himself numero uno when it comes to driving accuracy behind Aaron Rai. Lucas Glover, Daniel Berger, Sanjay M, a couple more names, Corey Connors, Seb Straka, Brian Campbell. Very, very accurate, very, very short. I can probably hit my 3-wood further than Brian Campbell can. Grant hit a driver. Granted, Brian Campbell can probably hit his 3-wood closer than I can hit my 5-iron on approach. He's just very good from that range as well. Moving along. That was a quick tangent over there. Keegan Bradley, congratulations. Abides by the dude. Hopefully you can grab the Model Maniac link in the description below for the Discord. Get in there. I'll get you sorted up to get all the models and tools this week. Keegan Bradley does a lot of good things, as we've spoken about. Great in the total driving department. He's 16th in strokes gained off the tee on longer golf courses as well. I'm treating this as a long golf course off the tee, given the fact it's going to be very driver intensive. I think that's definitely how we want to look at it this week. He's top 23 in all the way to strokes gained metrics, given the fact that there's a lot of wedge play happening this week. He's also very good in the medium range buckets over here. Not necessarily the greatest with the long irons. There's only 2 par 5s, a couple par 3s that are relatively long. That's okay. We know Keegan Bradley is an absolute beast on these bent grass greens. We like that a lot. And, I think he's going to do some good work for us over here, having finished 5th at the API, 18th at the RBC, and 20th at the Players in the last couple of weeks. There we go. Keegan Bradley, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations there. Yes, I'll meet up. Hey, there we go. 3 hours away, same situation. I'm in Des Moines. We're going to drive all the way to the John Deere Classic over there. Interesting that Keegan is low-key dad strong. He's got that dad strength off the tee, nuking a couple out there, getting his thing going, and he's very accurate at the same time. And the thing about, if we do this, I shared this in the Model Maniac Patreon. Let me pull it up quickly. It must be towards the end of this thing, yeah? Where did we go? I think I looked up strokes gained, distance. Here we go. Okay. Here is a filter of guys that lead the field in distance and take a peek at their strokes gained from 100 to 150. Wyndham Clark, one of them. Justin Thomas, another. Keegan Bradley, another. There's like only 3 guys in this field that gain with the wedges and are top 20 in both of these distances and strokes gained from 100 to 150. Those are them. So there should not be a question that we are going to be betting Wyndham Clark going forward over here, people. So dropping these nuggets in the Model Maniac Patreon, as always. Let's pull up Wyndham Clark's metrics, see where we're going with him. I am a little concerned that if he does miss the fairway, we're going to find some trouble, but we got 6 places each way on Bet Rivers over there. If the course plays to medium capacity, we know Wyndham Clark's going to play out of his mind at this kind of a golf course. He typically does do that. So, distance in the field, he's 8th in the field. We love to see that from old Wyndham. Great with the wedges. Hits a couple poor shots, but he hits a lot of good ones too. So he's going to knock a lot of wedges close. And we said a good shot on a wedge intensive venue from 100 to 150 is 6.5 feet. That's when you gain half a stroke on the field on a 1 wedge approach shot. So he's 5th in the field. There's only 4 people that hit it closer than him more often than he does. Love to see that, especially when he's got tons of distance off the tee. Good to see in that department. The rest of his game is shit on the iron front. So hit all the wedges, baby. Let's go. I love that for him. He's got a very unique skill set. The long iron should be better for him given his distance. They are not. He's a wedge guy. Out of the rough, he's not the greatest. 44th in the field in strokes gained out the rough. Inside 150, that's okay. We're going to make sure he capitalizes on the fairway approach shots, which he's very, very good at. So we'll see what happens. He's going to be hitting at 1,000,000 miles down the fairway. He's also top 25 in all the bent grass metrics you're looking for. Yeah. Last 36 strokes gained total overall and 24th in the field from 5 to 15 feet. Wyndham Clark, ladies and gentlemen, finished 5th at the Houston Open, a very driver-heavy venue that he did a couple wedges into as well. Not necessarily as many as we'll see this week. So still good to see that at a driver-heavy golf course, things can happen for him. Looking forward to Wyndham Clark doing the Lord's work. $7,900, 11% owned. Don't mind that whatsoever. Think he's got absolute upside. Plays fantastic in strokes, signature events. We can go to Wyndham Clark in that world. Moving forward to our couple placement bets for this week. And we've got a top 5 for you right off the top rope over here. And his name. And as always, we are betting these with ties paid in full. It's Rory freaking McIlroy. If we take a look at Rory McIlroy's current situation, we went over to the most profitable bets that we've seen this year. Rory's top 20 bets, not going to him at minus 500. It's not a world we want to live in. But he's the 4th most profitable bet in 2025 has been a Rory McIlroy top 5. We've been riding that bet quite religiously this year. We obviously bet him top 5 at the Arnold Palmer and the Genesis Invitational, two driver-heavy venues where at the Genesis, he completely forgot how to putt. And at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, he used new drivers and woods. Tough scene. Tough scene. We've bet Rory McIlroy to win 3 tournaments this year. He won 3 tournaments this year. We did not land up on any one of them in those 7 or the 6 prior to the Masters. Should have bet him at the Masters as well. We were on Justin Rose and he lost out in the playoff over there. It's been a tough year, but we cashed the Zurich boys, so we're looking Gucci. Rory has been minus 137 at the Euro Dubai this year to start off the year. Great stuff in that department. But we've seen him at the Pebble Beach, and the odds are the shortest we've seen so far. He's finally getting the respect that he deserves from the caliber of golf that he has been playing the last little while. My throat's starting to get parched over here. But Rory's top 5 market has been sensational. If we take a look at his top 5 numbers, we'll pull him up right over here. McIlroy. If we take a peek at his top 5 numbers over here, 67% of his last starts have been top 5s. Woo! That is some good golf. So he has been sensational. And I believe the track record for still finishing inside the top 5 every time he finishes inside the top 10 is definitely intact. 67% of the time he finishes top 10. 67% of the time he finishes top 5. Got to go back to the 2023 Open Championship, the last time he finished top 10 and not top 5. So he is a spike juggernaut. Every time he plays well, he plays very well. When he plays poorly, he's outside the top 10. So you're going to be getting Rory McIlroy with, look at these green boxes, boy. This is why you're getting a 40% owned $12,000 Rory McIlroy this week. We are looking at delightful metrics in a massive, massive year for the Mac. Return of the Mac, return of the Mall. Wins for him. Distance off the tee leads the field. Love that. His 59th in accuracy doesn't matter, because if you're taking a look at Rory McIlroy's accuracy, you think, how does he play so well out the rough? Well, he's got tons and tons of distance and tons of speed. So he's 3rd in the field in strokes gained out the rough from inside 150, which is where he finds himself quite a lot because he hits it so far, but he's also relatively accurate. He doesn't hit it off the map. He just misses a couple fairways by a couple yards here and there. It is what it is. So, yeah, well, he's T20's over 90% too. I mean, that's the thing. Is minus 500 where you want to go, though? I mean, he's minus 500. You got to lay 500 to win 100. I prefer to just go to the top 5 market for him. So that's where I'll be looking to bet Rory. As you can see, he's been just sensational the last little while. If you are looking for a little life hack or showdown hack, just in general, and I'll give you this for free. This is often what we preach in the Model Maniac Patreon, in the Discord there. Rory McIlroy, when it comes to showdown, you're not necessarily looking to play him in round 2. He leads the field in round 4, round 3, and round 1 strokes gained, but he's 13th in round 2. Scotty Scheffler, on the other hand, is in a similar boat as Rory when it comes to Saturdays. So when they're playing in the same event, you smash them both in round 1, you smash them both in round 4. You play Scotty on Fridays, and you play Rory on Saturdays. They both seem to struggle on those specific days for some reason, and this is for the last 12 months, sorry. You're finding these guys just not necessarily getting it done. if we go over to the Model Maniac tool over here, you can actually see that from Rory. Here's Scotty's last couple starts. And if you just click on the third round, which is a Saturday, in case you forgot how the week works, his strokes gained total at the CJ Cup, he eclipsed 3 strokes gained for the first time since the Olympics. Back in August, June, July, August, yeah. That was the last time he gained 3 strokes on a Saturday. If you click on the other ones, it's been insane. He's round 1 metrics. Yeah, we take a look. Boom. We've got just his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opening rounds have gained 3+ for Scotty Scheffler. Absurd. So that's what you're getting from Scotty there. If you take a look at the round 2 metrics, a lot more spike potential, some bad rounds as well. But 1, 2, 3, 4 have been 3+. If you go to round 4, we're seeing similar stuff. You're seeing a lot more spike potential rounds from Scotty. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in the last couple rounds. So you're absolutely going to be looking for Scotty to bet his over totals on Saturdays. If you go to Rory McIlroy over here, it's a similar thing, but on Fridays. What has he been up to the last little while? He has his round 4 metrics, 1, 2, 3, 4 that have eclipsed 3 strokes. If we go to the first round, we're going to count another 1, 2, 3, 4 have eclipsed 3 strokes. If we go to round 3, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4 have eclipsed 3 strokes. If we go to round 2, let's take a quick peek at what he's got up to lately. He's actually playing a lot better. I'm taking back all my words. He's gained 3 times 3+ strokes in the last little while. Prior to that, it wasn't very good. As you can see, long-term metrics still stand, but Rory's obviously a different beast right now. I take back everything I just said. Just play Rory McIlroy every freaking week. Every day. This is why we do the deep dives, to find some context in the metrics. You never want to take everything for face value. If you believe, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you're taking care of the details. And as a result, we can change our opinion on these golfers, Rory McIlroy being one of them. We are going to him for a top 5 in this field. We love it. He's going to be carrying these bunkers for days. The iron play, people are all excited about Rory McIlroy's iron play. It's not necessarily the greatest. And I'm going to go over to Data Golf real quick. I know we're going completely tangent city here, but it's all good. They do a wonderful thing here where you can see the approach proximities for these dudes. And for January, since 2025, this year basically, under 150 yards out the rough, he's elite. He hits the most 99th percentile. 99th percentile for good shots. And good shots for this situation is 10 feet. Out the rough, you want to hit a wedge to 10 feet, you're getting half a stroke on the field. Now, if you go from the fairway for this year, the good shot rate for Rory is 32nd in the field. Doesn't hit it very close that often. Now, his strokes gained is better. He's been eliminating the very, very bad shots. Granted, he hit a wedge in the water when he won the Masters. You can't win them all. But poor shot avoidance as well. Just this year, not the greatest. He doesn't hit a lot of greens. He's 56th in percentiles there. So the wedges for Rory, people are saying that they have improved. Yes, they have. If you take a look at the last 12 months, it's a bit better. We've seen, is it? For the last 2 years, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if we're seeing, it looks better on TV, but it's really not like that much better. If you're clicking this button again, it shows you he's actually hit less good shots and less poor shots this year, yet his strokes gained are still similar to his 2-year baseline. Moving along. Enough Rory McIlroy. We like him a lot. We're going to be playing him a lot in DFS. I'll even eat the chalk at 40. 40% is a lot. I didn't expect it to be anything less than that anyway. But is it something that we are going to be chasing, given the fact that he's been gallivanting around New York City on shows, on the Jimmy Fallon show, CNBC? Has he been dialing in the wedges? We don't know. I think played nicely at the RBC at Zurich with Shane. 2 seconds. I've been just chatting too much about Rory. But this is what I'm saying. Like at 40% ownership, we're going to play the top 5 bet and then maybe leave him alone in DFS. At that ownership, it might get even into the 40s. 45, 50. Who the freaking hell knows? We'll take a peek. as the week unfolds, we'll update the ownership tomorrow in the Model Maniac Discord. We don't get to speak about Kawa now yet. Kawabunga he's a later situation. You know what? You can run the show, commentating nerd. Let's talk about Colin Morikawa. We're going to be looking at Colin Morikawa, friends, minus 175 top 20. I feel very good about this. I feel very, very good about it. Colin Morikawa, yeesh, this computer's getting a little jumpy on me as we're speaking about Colin Morikawa and our comfortability around it. Let's pull up Kawabunga, who missed his first top 20 of the season. The RBC Heritage didn't play the greatest. But if you take a look at his top 20 rates, it's 77% of the time we are finding Colin Morikawa inside the top 20. It's been great. And if we take a look at Colin Morikawa, we go over to the best bets for 2025 so far. It's been definitely on the radar for these people. Yes, Colin Morikawa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So top 10 as the best bets. The only time he hasn't cashed the top 20 this year was his last start at the RBC Heritage after a rather disappointing Masters. I would say so. I would imagine he was a little flat, not doing the greatest. It's okay. This golf course could not suit this man any freaking better, given the lack of distance he has off the tee. He's second in DK pricing, second in safety, and third in upside. So we like that. If we take a look at his strokes gain metrics, the putter, the short game is middle of the field, but the ball striking is number one. That includes a field that's got Rory McIlroy in it. He's great. He's very, very good. Now, we would like hard conditions for old Colin, since he's second best in those metrics, but he's still top 15 in all of them, so that's good. He's a well-rounded golfer. 57th in distance off the tee, but second in accuracy, and first in strokes gained off the tee on long golf courses. 7,200 yards and beyond. He keeps it in the fairway. He hits fairways, and he's got relatively okay distance. I'm seeing myself lag. Hit me up in the chat if things are looking a little rough for us here. I need to know that I need to slow down things a little bit, figure it out. The Wi-Fi is being a little problematic again. Let me know. But the weighted strokes gain, he's 8th in the field. Proximity, he's 6th in the field. And he's 4th in the field from 100 to 150. You are looking at a wedge savant. Nothing in the wedge range for him. Proximity, strokes gained, good shots, poor shots. Nothing grades out worse than 14th in this field. So thank you, Matthew. I'm seeing your comment. I appreciate the fact that we are looking good. Nice photo. Real big smile there, my man. Love to see it. All right. When you get a little further away from the golf hole, so does Colin Morikawa tend to regress, as you can see over here. And you do not want Colin Morikawa missing fairways. He's 36th in the field in wedge play out the rough, but he's the second most accurate in the field, so that's fine. Going to be hitting from the fairways all the time. You need precision at this golf course. He's got that. And when you're taking a look at bent grass putting, he's the 15th biggest improver on bent grass in this field. Top 20 for strokes gained overall, and top 25 for holding putts from 5 to 15 feet. So looking good there. Often gets off to really good starts in round 1, round 2. Tends to struggle and hit a little bit of a neutral as he's trying to win these tournaments. I don't like to say this, but I had a bet for Colin Morikawa to win this thing outright, and I cashed it out. I just couldn't. I placed the bet, and I just couldn't believe I did. And I cashed it out before I even did it in the Discord. We're not even doing it. I can't do it. So we're just going to lay some serious juice on a venue where I think if you're hitting fairways like this, you're going to have to do some atrocious stuff to not finish top 20, given your skill set. Top 20 in bent grass putting, top 5 in approach play with the wedges, and you're hitting every freaking fairway, my man. So if you don't top 20 in a 72-man field, Tice paid in full at BetMGM, what are we doing here? It's just top 20 central for Colin Morikawa. So I'm expecting him to do that again. I don't mind him from a DK perspective either. I just can't get him. I can't get him on the betting card to win this thing. So he's going to win it now. Don't mind him in the top 5 market either, but we are liking him a lot in the top 20 market in a big way. So Let's see what Colin Morikawa can do for us. I'm a believer. We're a believer. I couldn't believe it even if I tried. What is that? Smash mouth. All right. Moving along to a couple more bets here. Victor Hovland will be next up for us here. Top 10 plus 220. Victor Hovland. You're going to see a lot of similar themes here, people. You're going to see a lot of similar themes given the guys we bet. I think wedge play could not be more pronounced this week. Could not be more pronounced. It is one of the few courses you see on the PGA Tour where you can hit a lot of drivers and still have this many wedges. A lot of the driver-intensive golf courses are longer golf courses that you see a lot more mid to long irons on. This week, you're going to see a lot of wedges. So Victor not yet catching up on our long-term metrics over here. 18th in safety, 22nd in upside. DraftKings has got him priced at 10th in the field. Not quite sure we believe in that. He's very sporadic when it comes to his performances. Mostly got to do with the fact that he's 66th in a 72-man field around the greens. Not ideal. But he's 7th in putting and 3rd in approach play over the last 12, 8, 4, and 2 months. Weighted, right? So the last 2 months are counting 4 times in our metrics as a result. The last 4 months are counting 3 times. The last 8 months, twice. And then the last 12 months, just once, So that's how that kind of works in that department. And as a result, you see the last 12 months worth of strokes gained across any venue, particularly the majors. He's played his better golf there, but you're not seeing good stuff. His distance, his accuracy is top 30 in the field, neither of them being elite, but he's 4th in the field in weighted strokes gained for approach play. And it's because he's 6th in the field in strokes gained from 100 to 150. Very, very good driver. Good wedge player, given the fact that he's still top 26 in distance in this field. So that's good to see. It's a lot of good shots. Or say it's a lot of bad shots, which is cool. Whatever. That's why his around the green metrics are really bad. Is when you're hitting bad shots with wedges, probably leaving yourself in bad positions, because when you're hitting a wedge, you're hitting it to a pin that's most likely a sucker pin. Professionals are very, very good. 6 feet gains you half a stroke on the field. You know what I'm saying? So if you're missing by a couple feet, you could be in short-sided down a slope, and then as a result, you're hitting really bad chips. Also, his chipping kind of sucks as well. So you got a bit of combination of both there. Out of the rough from 150 and he's 7th in the field as well. So if you're missing fairways as Victor Hovland, that's still okay. We saw, remember, inside 10 feet is gaining half a stroke on the field. There's only 6 other people that do that out the rough for Victor. So no matter where he is with the wedge, fairway or rough, he's top 7 in this field, strokes gained wise. So you can absolutely trust him to ball strike the bejesus out of this golf course. The bejesus out of this golf course. Tempted to play Victor Hovland to win this tournament as well. I'm going to play, that's all our outrights. It's JT, Wyndham Clark, and Keegan Bradley. Going to take a peek live, add a couple live matchups or live outrights as we get a bit more information from this golf course. Still looking to attain exactly what this golf course is demanding. Tailor up the model a little bit after round 1, and then pull a trigger on a couple guys that maybe ball struck it well, missed a couple putts. The classic round 1 showdown stuff. Victor Hovland on the bent grass putting surfaces, top 20 in 5 to 15 feet, and also the last 36 rounds of strokes gained. He's dominating in that department. Love to see it. Makes a ton of birdies, makes a ton of bogeys. Victor Hovland seems like someone we could absolutely look at in the outright market after round 1. 63rd in a 72-man field in round 1 strokes gained. Let's take a look and see if that holds true more recently for the Hovlander. Don't know. That's a shout out to the boys if you guys haven't watched that show about superheroes. I know it sounds weird to say superheroes on an adult show, but great show. It's not quite your normal superheroes, if you know what I mean. All right, Hovland. Let's take a look what old Victor Hovland's done in the last couple round 1s. Clicking on this little column right here is going to tell us exactly what we're looking for. Strokes gained in round 1. We haven't had a single. We've had at Pebble Beach in January. He gained 3 in the first round. No dice after that. We got a couple two strokes gained rounds. Not going to really get it done. There's going to be guys that are gaining 6 strokes in round 1. Just how it goes. And I think if I remember correctly, is it 75% of winners on the PGA Tour average 3 strokes per round. It's like 12, or maybe it's half. Whatever. It's still a lot. It's at least half, maybe 75 or 66. I can't remember. I need to fine-tune my memory here. But 12 strokes, I think it's half. Half of PGA Tour winners gain 12 strokes on the field. So if you're not gaining your 3 strokes early in round 1, you've got to make that up in rounds 2, round 3, round 4. He's not quite getting it done there in that department. So this is obviously his career metrics. If we just filter in on 2025, it's his worst metric. If we click 2024 as well, you'll see, it's becoming pretty poor there as well too. So not ideal for Victor. So a definite live ad opportunity. We like him for a top 10 as well. He's been dialing it in. I like the iron play. I like the putting. Rambling a lot about Victor Hovland. It's all good. Big believer in him this week. Let's take a peek at some other names as we're going along down the situation here. Then I saw her face. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, baby. There we go. I'm terrible at singing. I don't know the lyrics about any song anyway. Corey Connors, friends. Corey freaking Connors. Let's pull his name up here. Love his accuracy off the tee. Love his ball striking ability. Just keep this thing in play. Keep it in play, baby. If you're taking a look at, let's go backwards here. Strokes gained out the rough from a wedge. There's only one person that's worse than him in the field. Don't want that. But this seems like a bad situation for him, right? However, if you take a look at what Corey Connors does with the driver, he's 6th in the field in accuracy. So he's not necessarily hitting that many wedges out the rough. He's hitting a lot of wedges out of the fairway, which is 9th in the field in strokes gained. Good, correlations there. Distance guys typically hitting a bit more out the rough because their accuracy is a bit less. Accuracy guys hitting out the fairway, that's what you're kind of looking for here. And maybe when I'm big and brave one day, I'll make a model that kind of prorates these to match them up nicely, because Corey Connors, I use average driving accuracies and distances. Maybe we need to tailor these things for one specific person. That's what we're missing out on here. Anyway, Corey Connors, fantastic wedge player. We take a look at his bent grass putting, 5 to 15 feet. He's middle of the pack, 30th in the field. Last 36, he doesn't make a lot of longer putts. Typically knocks him in from 5 to 15 feet, which we're going to see a lot of wedges from. So, like Corey Connors, potentially a round 1 guy this week, 7th in the field in strokes gained for round 1. Love that. We've got a 3rd place finish this year at the API. We've bet him top 10 now. 3rd at the API. 6th at the Players, 8th at the Valspar, 8th at the Masters. That's 4 of his last 6 starts have been top 10s. He went to the Valero, where he's won that tournament a couple times, finished 18th in a complete blizzard, like a windy-ass week. Still finished 18th. If that was a bit more calm like we could expect this week, Corey Connors would have had another top 10. That's 5 of his last 6, basically. So, Corey Connors, top 10, plus 250, ties paid in full. Let's freaking go, baby. Love, love, love that. Then we got to Aaron Rai, top 20, plus 160. Aaron Rai, two things. In the chat, I'll give another one away. I'm feeling generous, feeling real generous tonight. Aaron Rai leads the field, and I'll only give it for 5 minutes. No. It's too big of it's too random of a metric. I'm just going to tell you. Was feeling generous, not feeling generous anymore because I'm not expecting you guys to get it. It's so bad. We will also get to Xander here shortly, Kevin. I'm out. I can't do Aaron Rice's commentating nerd. I'll click on the wrong box. No Xander. I still believe in it. We can confirm as we go a little bit here. Aaron Rai is a very specific dog. He's a very specific name that we're going to be looking at here. So let's figure out why we like Aaron. I've got Aaron Rai ranked 11th in safety. I've got Aaron Rai ranked 14th in upside this week. Why is that the case? Well, strokes gained wise, in the last 12, 8, 4, and 2 months, he's 19th in this field of 72. If we take a look at his top 20 rate, it's 46% of the time. That happens all the time. If we take a look at his around the green play, he's top 20 in that market, and he's very good on easy courses. Do we expect it to play very easy? No, I'm probably expecting it to play medium this week, but we never know. He leads the field in accuracy off the tee. And as a result, we're going to have very mediocre wedge play. That's okay. Whatever. What I do like, though, is Aaron Rai is number one in this field from 5 to 15 feet on bent grass greens, putting. Sorry, got the little coughs going on here. Number one in the field in putting from 5 to 15 feet on bent grass greens is Aaron Rai. He's 13th in the field in strokes gained on bent grass greens over the last 36 rounds. Sees the 9th biggest improvement on his baseline for putting on bent grass greens. He's also an absolute smash player in round 1, 9th in strokes gained in round 1. So showdown option there. If you take a look at his recent performances, 11th at API, 14th at the Players. And we've got a 27th at the Masters. So, he's flirting around the top 20, but we're on bent grass greens now. I think that's really going to help him out. We are going to find himself. His upside is obviously limited given the fact that his wedge play is pretty poor. But his floor, given the fact that his driver is the most accurate in the field and the fact that he's the best from 5 to 15 feet on bent grass, it means we're likely not going to see that many bogeys. He's actually made a lot more birdies than he has made bogey avoidance. So I like it on bent grass greens. I like him a lot this week on the bent grass surfaces. So we're going to see what Aaron Rai can do for us. I like his number at plus 160. We'll see what happens. That's a very sweaty stat. That's a try hard stat. That's for a man that's searching for the answers deep down in the dark as well. And we found it. So maybe Aaron Rai can be the light of salvation for us from that world. Then I have one more bet for us, people, that I forgot to type in here. So I'm going to type it in right now. And it's a Tommy Fleetwood top 20. And I think minus 105 at DraftKings or something. Where the heck? I have it in the Discord. Let me look it up quickly. DK, minus 120. I'm lying to you guys. Minus 105, be damned. Minus 120. Ty's paid in full still, though. Not going to go to the minus 105 to take the dead heats option. Let's take a look at Tommy Old Fleetwood here. He sees one of the biggest jumps in upside versus floor. And he's our final bet that we've got going on here. I'm going to unhide this column real quick to show you what I'm talking about. The upside change is minus 1.7. If we actually get his ass out of here, let's take a look and see if it's the biggest of the bunch. Now, there's a couple real big regresses when it comes to that situation. So Shane Lowry, he sees himself fall from 6th in safety to 18th in upside. We bet Keegan Bradley. He sees himself fall from safety 10th to 28th in upside. Big fall. Alex Noren, same situation. We'll chat about Alex Noren later, by the way. 23rd in upside. 23rd in safety, 43rd in upside. Tommy Fleetwood is the 4th biggest faller when it comes to upside. And when I'm speaking about upside, I'm speaking about 75th percentile statisticals. Strokes gained metrics that are your 25th best strokes gained off the tee, approach, chipping, putting. I use those metrics. And then when it comes to finishing positions, I'm including top 5s and top 10s in upside. When it comes to safety, I'm using your median, so your middle, your 50th percentile, the strokes gained that half your shots, half of your strokes gained data. That's the number I'm looking for, not your 25th best one, your 50th best, your 50th worst. That's safety for me. I want to see what you're doing when you're playing average. What can you give me? Tommy Fleetwood is 4th in the field in that department. He finds himself dropping to 10th when it comes to upside. And you can take a look right over here. 65% of the time, Tommy Fleetwood's inside the top 20. 16% of the time, he's inside the top 5. You know what I'm saying? It's not ideal. Just we're lacking insane upside. And as you can see, all of these guys with top 5, top 10s on the biggest regressions of the safety to upside, you're lacking a lot of top 10 equity, but you're seeing a lot of top 20 equity, a lot of it, and lots of top 40 percentages too. So Tommy Fleetwood, 3rd in the field in ball striking. Love that. Love that. Now, he's somehow 27th in the field in putting. I want to double. He must have been putting a little better lately, eh? Feel like he's been missing a lot of putts, but I'll get to that here shortly. Let's get his metrics up here. Putting wise, it's been a little problematic. Putted really nicely at the Valspar. Okay, that's what did him a lot of damage in the last little while. So that's within the last 2 months. That's going to definitely help out a lot. Can't say I'm thrilled about the rest of his performances. Putted okay at the RBC Heritage, nothing too crazy. But what we are a big fan of is the fact that Tommy Fleetwood, if we go over to the bent grass putting surfaces, all the way over here, he sees the 11th biggest jump in strokes gained from bent grass to his baseline. He's 23rd in the field in bent grass putting. That's good to see. So we think Tommy Fleetwood can do it. Obviously, the upside is you see the same situation. The correlation with upside and birdies can be seen with this exact metric. Remember, we are filtered by the biggest drop from upside to safety or safety to upside. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, yeah, we've got elite bogey avoiders and poor birdie makers. That's just, what do you need to see the top of the leaderboard? More birdies. What do you need to not fall outside the top 20? Less bogeys. This is what you get. So it's kind of cool to see how these metrics match up quite nicely. Keith Mitchell makes a lot of birdies, but not when they matter. So that's another reason why his upside's lacking a little bit. Joanne saying, I will play Justin Rose over Aaron Rai. Absolutely. I'm cool with that. And just to bounce back to that, this is a bet on Aaron Rai to top 20. Do I think he's going to finish top 10? Probably not. So I don't think I want to play him in DFS. I'm not going to bet him top 10 either. I was really looking at betting him minus 125 and just hammering him at BetMGM for a top 30 to finish inside the top half of the field. I probably prefer that, but I like the plus 160 top 20 as well. I like how he grades out quite nicely. A little less risk in that department. So we're actually betting Aaron Rai to win 2 units, by the way, in that market. So we'll see. But Tommy Fleetwood, when it comes to the putting on bent, it looks good. He's sensational across the ball when it comes to strokes gained. Nothing worse than 13th in any of the rounds. And when we're taking a look at Tommy Fleetwood's most recent finishes, this year in the last 10 PGA Tour events on the calendar, 11th, 14th, 16th, 21st, and 7th are his best finishes. Finished 62nd at the Valero. It is what it is. So basically, 5 of his last 6 starts have been 21st or better. Going to him in the top 20 market in a signature event with 72 people. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So that's our bets for the week. Hit the like button, people. Let's dive into a couple. Let's go down rapid fire down the board here on the DFS side of things. Fire away any questions. I'm going to kind of just go over my favorites, my least favorites. If you got any deep dives you're looking for us to do, willing to do that for you. I want to serve you people because you guys serve me so well. When you hit the like button, when you subscribe, when you go over to Spotify and Apple and rate and review the Fantasy Golf Degenerates show. Please and thank you. The best comments or the best reviews, we will read that out on the show. You can get yourself your 5 seconds of fame over there, depending on how long your review is. People were asking about Tom Hoge, and you know what? I actually should play Tom Hoge in the top 20 mark because I think it makes a lot of sense. 6,700 bucks, 7% owned. He goes from, he's inside the top. He's a value play when it comes to DFS at 6,700 bucks. DraftKings has him priced at 47th in this field. Our upside and safety are 39th and 40th and 35th, respectively. His top 20 market has been ultra profitable again. He is top 20 Tom Hoge. He is an iron play beast in the last couple months, but typically you see this guy inside the top 5. He is not quite there yet. If we take a look at the overall proximities, though, he's number 2 in strokes gained from 100 to 150 in wedge play. Love to see that. So this week, Tom Hoge is going to be dialing in the wedges, people. Dialing them in. And he's 13th in the field in wedges from the rough as well. So that's good to see. What is his overall driving? He's 26th in accuracy. That's good. That's good. Like Tom Hoge is not necessarily the greatest driver of the golf ball. So give yourself a fairway approach shot. If your name's Tom Hoge, it's likely going to be close, especially if you've got a wedge in your hand. Not the longest driver of the golf ball, probably hits at 290 out there, 295. That's okay. Give an eye out to Tom, and he'll hit it as close as people hit gap wedges. He's just very, very good. I'm all cool with that. And 3rd at the Players, 5th at the Valero, 14th at the Masters, 18th at the RBC Heritage. We are rocking 4 straight top 20s. I need to place this bet. I'm going to shop for the odds a little bit. I'm showing you all of my passwords. All good. Let's get that off the screen. I'm going to pull up one situation here. Let's take a look. Tom Hoagie top 20 is a... Wow, we are scrolling. Oh, baby. Plus 210. Yep. All right. Final bet. Let's place a banner here just so we can show you guys what we're up to. Tom Hoagie. Top 20. Plus 210. Shop around. Find the best odds. Highest paid in full preferred. Take a look at this. 4 straight top 20s this year. He's playing fantastic. If we take a look at his overall top 20 rate, 40% of the time he's inside the top 20, baby. That looks good. Not nearly as good as his top 40 rate. So he's going to be top 20 or bust kind of thing. Whenever he's top 40, he's also top 20. Play the upside top 20 market for him. Leave the safety stuff alone. I'm looking at you, Jake. I know you don't watch the show, but I know you like to play the safe Tom Hoagie bets. We like the more aggressive situation over there for the Hoagster. Love him in DFS at $6,700. I mean, he's just giving you top 20 off the top 20. Great value, if you ask me. So that's what we're doing over there. Not a lot of green regulations, but he's very aggressive. Very, very aggressive in that department. As you can see, the birdie rate's going to be higher as a result of the aggressive iron play. The bogey avoidance rate going to be lower because when you hit the bad shots, you hit the bad shots. You know, you miss the greens, you're going to be chipping, and he's not the greatest chipper. So love Tom Hoagie, especially given the wedge intensity we will see this week. Beautiful, beautiful. Maverick McNeely was questioned in the chat. Let's pull his ass up here out of his private jet as he lands it over there for us. Can he land his ball in the fairway enough around this golf course? That is going to be the question. Let's take a look. He's trending by 3 points gained on the PGA fields over the last 3 months. He's gained 16. Over the last 12, he's gained 13. That's good to see there. His upside rank is 7th. So love him in DFS at $8,300, getting a 10 position boost over there for a value. He's been sensational in the betting market. Top 5s, top 10s, top 20s over the last 12 months. He's been profitable in all of those markets, along with the win that we had at the RSM. Off the tee, he's got it dialed inside the top 20. It's the only metric that he has inside the top 20 in this field, but he's very sporadic. 32nd in distance, 42nd in accuracy. Not quite sure if we like that. Just doing his thing, working it, you know, doing his thing, whatever. Great long iron player. Not sure I like him this week, given the fact that the wedge is 57th in the field. There's nothing inside the top 50 for any of his wedge metrics. Yeah. No, he's a speed guy. He's been working on his speed. I'd imagine that the wedges are losing their zest. And as a result, you're seeing some really solid long iron play. I don't know if that's going to really come in handy this week. Great bend cross putter, though. 25th biggest improvement, makes a lot of birdies, blah. Could be a potential live ad given his round 1, round 2 stagnations over there. Has played quite nicely. RBC Heritage played nicely, but there's a bit more long irons over there than you'd imagine. And then 3rd at the Valero, same situation. Also a lot of long irons. Given the fact that it's not the longest of golf courses, they still tend to force a couple more long irons than you'd expect. Maverick McNeely for you, ladies and gentlemen. Can't say I'm bullish. Can't say I will be playing him either. Commentating nerd. What are you saying here, my friend? I feel like you'd feel at home at a cricket club. Is this Tom Hoagie or Maverick McNeely? Yeah. Hey, cricket clubs are not as snobby as you'd imagine. Maybe in England, but bang wedges, yeah, not good. I agree. Yeah, not the greatest when it comes to the wedge play. It is what it is. All Gucci. Why do we not like Xander Schauffele? I saw my man Kevin asking. Xander Schauffele, not only is he still searching for his first top 5 this year, we got an 8th place at the Masters, a very long iron intensive venue. That's his only top 10. 18th at the RBC Heritage, 12th at the Valspar. Not playing the greatest golf. And when I say that this is not a golf course for him to break out at, it is not a golf course for him to break out at. He's exceptional from 150 and out. He's exceptional from 200 and out. He, in fact, is number one in both of those categories from the fairway. When we're taking a look at strokes gained out of the rough, he hits the most green regulations from 150 and out at this, in those ranges. Yet, strokes gained with the wedge inside 150 out the rough, he's 25th. Strokes gained from the fairway from 100 to 150, he's 50th. 50th, friends. 37th in the field in good shot rates from that range. That's average. And what we know about Xander is the putter hasn't necessarily showed up. He's 21st in the field in putting over the last while. It hasn't been good. He's going to have to make a lot of putts given the fact that he doesn't hit his wedges nearly as close as everybody else. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Have we seen anything show up for us for Xander? Putting, we haven't had a spike round where he's gained 2+ since the Arnold Palmer Invitational, but he didn't even putt well that week. It was just one weird week. Like if you're taking a look at when he was playing his best golf, we are looking at non-stop gains on the greens pretty much. A couple bad ones here and there, but a lot more green than we're seeing. If you're taking a look more recently, a lot more white, a lot more red as well. Not the greatest. And the driver's been a little all over the place as well. So to me, there's other options. We've already addressed them. I like Colin more. I like Justin Thomas more. In fact, I like them a lot, given the fact that they're going to be half the ownership of Rory. If Rory's come off a bit of a little happy-go-lucky media tour, I'm not entirely sure he's got exactly what it takes. He might have to find it a little bit. And at 40%, it's a lot of leverage you can find now. He is statistically the absolutely best option here. That's the one angle we can look at here. This is DFS. We've bet him top 5, remember. We are bullish on his outlook, but does the ownership warrant his mental state? Maybe he's looking ahead to the PGA Championship next week. Maybe he gets it dialed in. Maybe he absolutely dominates. Who the heck knows? So I think we'll like it a lot this week. I see Phil here. I'm going to just answer this real quick. I think so. Here's Victor Hovland. If we go by ownership projections right now, this is obviously middle of the day on Tuesday. I haven't seen anything update lately. Victor Hovland's the 5th highest owned option. Woo! Top 10 bet on Victor Hovland. Leave him alone in DFS. He's not going to provide you the safety for that kind of ownership. I'm sorry. What are we looking at from Victor Hovland apart from his win at the Valspar? We haven't had a top 10 since. RBC Heritage 13th, Masters 21st. It's not a guarantee he's going to finish inside the top 10. And if you're the 5th highest owned option at $9,100, I can't say that I like that. There are better options that have a bit more consistency. Rory being obviously one of them, but we've already spoken about how we can fade him potentially. Spieth also providing consistency, but geez, one of the most uncompetitive 4th place finishes you'll ever see Jordan Spieth have was to Scotty Scheffler and lost to him by 1 million strokes at the CJ Cup. So doesn't even really. How many strokes did Spieth lose to Scheffler by? At the CJ Cup, his final round, he was 13. Jordan Spieth was 13 shots back of Scotty Scheffler. And he finished 4th. That's the thing. I think Jordan Spieth, the closer he gets to the lead, the worse he plays, in my opinion. Not necessarily had the lead at all this year. When he's been within 3, this most recently, it's all been mostly rounds 3 and 2 that he's found himself within the lead. At the Century, he gained a little bit of strokes when he was within 3, entering the final round and finished 3rd in 2024. That's only 2024. It's been a while since Jordan Spieth's done much. So we'll see what happens with Spiethy. I can't say I'm a fan, although I do like his total driving this week. The short game has been a bit of a problem. That's one take there. Patrick Cantley, the bent grass beast. Everyone's a big believer in Cantley this week. If we take a look at what Patrick Cantley gets up to from a weighted perspective, it's solid. Mainly got to do with the 150 to 200 proximity ranges. He's not necessarily going to be knocking it that close compared to everyone else when it comes to the wedges. He's not in the same realm as Victor, Colin, or JT, which I like a lot more. And if you're taking a look at his wedge play out the rough, I'm assuming that's where he does more of his damage, and he's sixth in the field in that market. So you should see him hitting it a little closer out of the rough compared to the rest of the field. Now, are you going to be scoring from out the rough as much at a course like this with the wedges? Maybe not. But when he's in the fairway, that everyone else is going to be hitting it closer than he does for the most part. It's only middle of the pack. So, yeah. As you can see, the 4 highest owned options so far are projected, and the best strokes gained from 100 to 150 is only 28. Not a lot of good wedge play in this upper echelon of ownership, So I like these guys, the Hovlands, the JTs, the Collins. I already told you why I don't like Victor that much at 22%, given his safety, but he does have the upside that you can be looking for. If you're fading those top 4, that's cool. I like the rest of these dudes then in a big way. Let's take a look what else is going on here. Ricky Fowler go time. Yeah, sure. Please move along. Yeah. Ricky Fowler. Nobody has benefited more from what they've done 5 to 10 years ago than Ricky Fowler. Making his way to the PGA Championship. The guy hasn't, I think he's had a T18 this year. That's it. Done nothing. When the winning putt of the Ryder Cup is a succession, and it's Tommy Fleetwood who needs to make a 4-footer to win the Ryder Cup, you do not give that putt. You do not give that putt. You make him putt that putt. I've got a lot of pent-up anger towards Ricky Fowler. He just shows no emotion, despite playing completely atrocious golf most of the time. Whenever he's playing well, it's mainly got to do with the putter. Do not get me started on Ricky Fowler. I will start unhinging myself here. All right. Anything else we're talking about here? Thoughts on Poston this week? Joanne's asking. Beautiful. Let's pull up the Postman. Let's get my face back out here. I know you guys love to look at it. There we go. I know I like to look at myself. A vain son of a gun. Just kidding. We're all having fun out here. Let's have another quick sip. JT Poston, 58th in wedge play. No good. Hits a lot of good ones. Also a lot of bad ones. That's his problem. So he's going to be making probably a lot of birdies. 15th in the field in birdie rate, but 35th in bogey avoidance. That's what you're going to be getting from him. Played nicely at the RBC Heritage, where he always plays well. Makes a lot of sense. But nothing inside the top 20 prior to that. So not the greatest situation there, Joanne. 5% ownership's always good, but lacks the distance we're looking for without like elite accuracy. 17th in the field in accuracy. It is what it is. The ball striking the last little while is 44th in the field. Can't say I'm thrilled about that. Overall, I can't say I'm excited. Now, whenever I say I don't like someone that someone requested, we typically try and find a pivot that is a better option. So let's find someone in the $7,200 range that can potentially provide us with a bit more utility than JT Poston at $7,200. And by that, I'm probably speaking about Taylor Pendrith, who I have ranked 13th in upside. When you're taking a look at Pendrith's profile, Joanne, now I understand he hasn't been playing the greatest. It's not been good lately at all. We might be playing on an easy golf course. The ball striking's been very good for TP. The allergies are kicking in hard for me right now, so we're digging deep. He's 10th in the... Sorry. He's 10th in the field in distance. Woo! We're allergic to bad JT Poston play. Maybe we're allergic to Taylor Pendrith. We don't know. 10th in the field in distance. 32nd in wedge play. Blah-de-blah. I'm assuming he's very good out the rough, given his distance. 23rd in the field out the rough. So nothing great with the wedges, but very good distance. He's going to be clearing those bunkers we've been speaking about quite routinely. Makes a lot of bogey saves. Very good with the bogey stuff. Great on the par fives. We only got 2 of them this week. Maybe just the distance really helping him a lot this week. If we take a look at his recent form, it's been pretty poor, but did play nicely at Houston. So I think if you're taking a look at Poston, he's going to give you a bit more safety, but I think Pendrith can give you a bit more upside. So depending how you want to The other 5 guys you got in your roster, you can play them differently, in my opinion. All right. They definitely aren't in the northeast of England. What are you on about, my friend? Fierce. Must have missed that joke at the time. Is my boy Minwoo Lee going to cook? I mean, if there's anyone that triggers me more than Ricky Fowler, it's probably Minwoo Lee. But before we do that, who do you think popped in your model that made a lot of sense, but you were slow to believe in this week, so you gave the best mentality where you felt like you were really digging for gold? Seb Straka. And I don't think we even spoke about him. I think I actually betted him. I want to bet him top 20. As you can tell, we are a little disorganized here. But sure, if you've made it this far into the video, let's actually go over to the fortune cookie filter. As you can see here, we've got the rankings as always. And some of these guys don't grade out the greatest for the rankings because it just sometimes the model doesn't pick up what you're looking for. But when you're wanting to check boxes this week, the fortune cookie filter does that for you. So we'll filter by the highest to the lowest. And now what it's doing is it's taking, let's leave those guys alone, and just put these guys in here. Rory checks the most, along with Colin Morikawa and Corey Connors. We've bet all 3 of those guys. Russell Henley and Shane Lowry are next with 14 boxes. What are we looking for here? Weighted green regulation rates. I'm lying to you. Those are not even close to what we're looking for. I changed these. Yeah. Weighted good shots is what we're looking for. And we are also looking for, let's filter this up here a little bit. Strokes gained from 100 to 150. Inside 150 out of the rough strokes gained. Last putting 36 rounds on bent. Distance and or accuracy. If you got both, that's even better. And what it's doing is it's giving you 1 point if you're inside the top 20 and 2 points if you're inside the top 10. Par 5 scoring, top 10s at this golf course, obviously nothing than me here, and top 10s or top 20s this year. And then your ranking for easy and medium golf courses this week. So there are your guys. Rory McIlroy, Colin, Corey, Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, JT, and Seb Straka. He will be the first person that shows up here that I don't think he's remotely close to being ranked where he should. Upside ranking for him, 26th. Safety ranking, 13th. Not good, Bob. But he checks a lot of those boxes. And what boxes does he check? In particular, it's the wedge play. Very, very good. Top 10 in strokes gained from 100 to 150. He's accurate off the tee. Very, very accurate. I believe he's top 10 if we are doing the boxes correctly over here. Seb Straka, 7th in the field in accuracy off the tee. Love that. If we're taking a look at his recent form, we have got a crap ton of top 10s and top 20s this week. And he's pretty solid on easy or medium golf courses. So Seb Straka, my friend, is one of the names that I think popped in the fortune cookie filter that didn't quite pop in the model as much. So I like to look at a multitude of different angles, and as a result, we are getting that from Seb Straka. A couple other names, if we actually filter by, we can go the other way around here. Let's go Z to A. So these are the worst options in the model. And let's see who pops in the fortune cookie over here. So Brian Campbell does a lot of good golf from inside 150 out of the rough. He's great on bent grass greens, and he's one of the most accurate drivers in the field. Love to see that. Also plays quite nicely on easy and medium difficulty golf courses. Good to see. Another name, Rasmus Højgaard, popping with 5. Joe Highsmith. Let's look for like someone with, yes, Keith Mitchell. Not grading out the greatest, but does a lot of good work out of the rough from 150. He's obviously very elite when it comes to driving distance. Par 5 scorings, top. Lots of top 20s, lots of top 10s, and plays easy and medium golf courses nicely. Good to see old Killer Keith there. Lucas Glover, Tom Hoagie. Tom Hoagie with 11 boxes checked as well. So couple guys we really fancy in that range. Loving it. Matt telling us Xander and Sep winning this week. Couldn't agree more on the Sep Straka take. Not so much Xander. If Morikawa wins this week, that would mean Max Homer's caddy left him at Augusta, where he finished well. He then joined JT at the Heritage and won. He then takes someone else now and wins with Colin. That's a beautiful narrative, isn't it? So could be he could potentially do that, where I wonder how often someone has won back-to-back starts as a caddy on different bags. Be interesting. And yes, something I'm working on as a dad is getting triggered less by random shit. So, and you are catching, my friend. Your worms, you know how to catch me. But, folks, that's it for me. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. We had the Bob Ross wig on because this is a new golf course. We had to figure out exactly where we are going with the statisticals. I hope you appreciate the more hats. I finally put 2 more rows of hats behind me, so it doesn't look like I'm sitting in a jail cell. And I appreciate all of you for hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, going over to the Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast audio feeds on Spotify and Apple. Give us a review, give us a rating, 5 stars ideally, and share that on X, on the Fantasy Golf Degenerates Twitter account, FG Degenerates. If you post that underneath there, I will pick one of every 10 to give a free month Model Maniac Patreon membership to. As always, use code TRUIST25 to get 25% off your first month at the Model Maniac Patreon. Link in the description below. All the tools you've seen on the screen are available to you there. I've seen a couple of you guys in the Discord, in the chat here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys even more than those that are not in the Discord for obvious reasons. Get in the Discord. Just kidding. I appreciate every single one of you. It just got worse as I was going on. I didn't know how that happened, but yeah, we are. You know, life goes on. We power through. Never give up on these kind of things. Have a great, great, great week. Yeah, I'll address some other stuff next week. Some sad news in the family, but all's good. You know, just love your loved ones in a big way. You know what? My dad is actually here with my mom to look after my baby for the next month. On Sunday, we found out his brother passed away randomly. So my dad's flying back home now for his brother's funeral, just out of nowhere. Life's tough, people. Love your loved ones a lot. Love them every day because you never know. Never know. Just passed away in your sleep. Never know. Never know when it's going to happen. So you got to love the people that you love because you never know if it's the last time you can love them. So not to end on a very bad note, but life is real and stuff happens. And I just feel terrible for my dad, you know, having to go back there and deal with that stuff because your brother, you know. So love you, Dad. Lots. I hope you do okay, my man. Awesome. Love you guys. Have a good one.